Hey everyone! Have you ever been in a business meeting where you had a great idea but struggled to put it into words?
Yeah, that moment when your mind goes blank or you're not sure how to sound professional. It's frustrating, right?
We get it! Speaking English in a business setting can feel like a whole different challenge. But don't worry, we've got you covered in this episode.
In this episode, we're going to teach you real business English phrases that will help you feel more confident in meetings, negotiations, and everyday workplace conversations.
And the best part? We've prepared a free PDF packed with essential business phrases from this lesson. You can download it from the link in the description, so make sure to grab it.
Stick around, because by the end of this lesson, you'll have the tools you need to speak more naturally and professionally in business settings.
Welcome back to the Practice English podcast. If you're new here, I'm Welly.
And I'm Danny. Our goal is to help you improve your English through real conversations that prepare you for everyday situations.
In this lesson, we're focusing on business English, how to sound confident and professional in meetings, discussions, and sales conversations.
Whether you're working in an international company, attending job interviews, or simply improving your workplace communication, these phrases will help you speak clearly, make suggestions, and respond professionally.
Have you ever had a great idea in a meeting but didn't know how to express it clearly? Or maybe someone made a suggestion and you wanted to agree or disagree in a professional way but felt unsure.
That's a common challenge. The way we speak in business settings is often different from casual conversations. We'll show you how to use the right words and phrases in this episode so that you sound confident and natural in professional discussions.
And don't forget, we've created a free PDF for you. It includes all the key vocabulary and phrases from this session, plus extra examples to help you practice. Download it now from the description below and follow along.
Now, let's jump right in with some essential business vocabulary that you'll hear in the upcoming conversation.
Let's start by talking about why business conversations can feel so tricky for English learners.
That's a great point. Many learners understand English well, but struggle to respond quickly and naturally in professional settings.
Right. One reason is that business English has its own vocabulary. If you don't know these phrases, it can be hard to join discussions confidently.
Another challenge is how to express ideas professionally. In business meetings, you don't just say, "That's bad," or "I don't like it." You need polite and strategic ways to share your thoughts.
And of course, confidence is key. If you're unsure of your words, it's easy to stay quiet instead of speaking up.
But don't worry. Today, we'll help you build the right skills so you can feel comfortable using English in the workplace.
Now, let's listen to a realistic workplace discussion.
This is a sales meeting where you'll hear key business expressions in action, like increased sales and special offer.
Pay close attention to how each person shares their ideas professionally, and how their word choices influence the direction of the conversation.
All right, team. We need to improve our sales performance. Does anyone have suggestions on how we can increase revenue this quarter?
I've noticed that our competitors are offering lower prices. Maybe we should reduce our prices to match theirs?
Lowering prices? That's not very innovative. We need a solution that helps us stand out, not just follow the competition.
What if we launch a special offer? A buy one, get one free deal or a limited time discount could attract new customers.
A special offer? I'm not sure, but it might be worth considering.
So what ideas have we come up with?
We were thinking about running a special promotion, like a buy one, get one free deal to help us stay competitive.
That's a fantastic idea. I really like it.
Yes, I thought so too.
Well, I'm glad the idea got noticed.
Let's take a moment to look at what just happened.
Did you notice how Michael first dismissed the pricing suggestion, but later presented David's idea as if it were his own?
That kind of situation is more common than you might think. It shows why it's so important to speak clearly and make sure your contributions are heard.
Also, notice how the team expressed themselves. Michael didn't say, "That's a bad idea." He said, "That's not very innovative." It's a more strategic way to disagree.
And David used a polite and open tone. Instead of saying, "We should do this," he said, "What if we launch a special offer?"
Even the phrase worth considering helped keep the discussion open, without sounding too strong or dismissive.
In a business setting, your tone and word choice shape how your ideas are received.
So, think about this. Have you ever shared an idea in a meeting, only to hear someone else repeat it later and get credit?
It happens. And that's why confidence and clarity matter so much in professional conversations.
Now, let's take a closer look at some important phrases from the conversation you just heard. These are common in meetings, sales discussions, and everyday business communication.
First, increase sales. Definition: to grow business by selling more on products or services. Example: our company needs to increase sales this quarter to stay ahead of our competitors.
Next, special offer. Definition: a limited time deal or promotion used to attract customers. Example: the store is running a special offer. Buy one, get one free.
Now stay competitive. Definition: to remain strong in the market by matching or improving upon others. Example: we need to stay competitive by offering better prices and faster service.
Let's look at stand out. Definition: to be different in a way that gets attention or makes a positive impression. Example: we need a marketing strategy that makes our brand stand out.
And finally, worth considering. Definition: an idea or suggestion that deserves attention or discussion. Example: a special offer might be worth considering to attract more customers.
These aren't just useful words. They're part of how professionals communicate in real business situations.
Try using them in your next conversation, or practice writing your own examples. Because the more you use these expressions, the more natural they'll become.
Up next, we're going to talk about leadership communication styles and how your words can influence a meeting more than you think. Now, let's talk about something just as important as vocabulary: how leadership and communication styles shape business discussions.
Exactly. In the dialogue, we saw different ways people interacted in a workplace setting. Let's break that down.
First, let's talk about Michael, the manager. Instead of encouraging open discussion, he quickly shut down ideas without much consideration. And when the CEO responded positively to David's suggestion, Michael acted as if the idea had been his all along.
That highlights a common leadership mistake. A strong leader invites input, listens actively, and gives credit where it's due. In contrast, Michael dismissed contributions from his team, which can make people less likely to speak up in the future.
Meanwhile, Jessica and David still made the effort to share their ideas, even though Michael wasn't very receptive. They stayed clear, composed, and respectful.
And that's an important takeaway. Even if your suggestion isn't accepted right away, expressing yourself thoughtfully helps keep the conversation open. Sometimes those ideas gain value later on.
What about you? Have you ever been in a meeting where someone shut down discussion too quickly, or took credit for an idea that wasn't theirs?
These moments happen. And understanding how to navigate them with clarity and confidence is part of becoming a strong communicator.
So, how do you express your thoughts clearly and respectfully in a business meeting?
Let's start with how to agree. You can say, "That's a strong idea. It could really help us stay competitive." Or, "I like that suggestion. It's worth exploring." Even, "That makes a lot of sense. We should look into it further."
Now, what if you disagree but still want to keep the conversation constructive? Try saying, "I see your point, but maybe we should explore other options." Or, "That's a valid suggestion, though we might want to take a different approach." You could also say, "I understand that perspective, but I'd like to offer an alternative."
And when you want to make a suggestion, use confident, flexible language. For example, one idea that might help is offering a limited time discount. Or, What if we test this strategy over the next 2 weeks and evaluate the results? Another option. Another approach could be adjusting our pricing model to stay competitive.
They'll help you sound more strategic and keep the conversation flowing.
Because in business, it's not just what you say. It's how you say it that earns trust and respect.
So next time you're in a meeting, don't hold back. Use language that shows clarity, confidence, and openness to dialogue.
And remember, every time you practice this kind of communication, you get one step closer to sounding like a true professional.
Let's take a step back and look at why these phrases actually matter in the workplace.
In business, the way you say something is just as important as what you say. A clear message can open doors. A careless one can shut them just as fast.
For example, saying "that won't work" might sound blunt or dismissive. But saying "let's explore a different option" invites collaboration.
It's not about being overly polite. It's about being intentional. Your language shows whether you're someone people can trust and work with.
And when you offer a suggestion, the phrasing makes a difference. "Let's test this approach" sounds confident, while "maybe we could try" leaves room for doubt.
Business communication isn't about perfect grammar. It's about choosing words that move conversations forward, especially in meetings, negotiations, and decision-making moments.
So remember, your words shape how others see you, not just as an English speaker, but as a professional.
Because in business, your words don't just communicate. They represent you.
Let's talk about something that happens in every workplace. Difficult conversations.
Sometimes you need to challenge an idea, explain why a strategy might not work, or offer a different perspective when no one else is saying it.
That can be uncomfortable, especially when the other person has more authority, like a manager or a senior executive.
But here's the key. You don't have to be confrontational to be honest. It's all about the words you choose.
Let's take an example. Imagine someone suggests expanding the team quickly, but you're worried about budget. Instead of saying, "that's a mistake," you could say, "expanding the team could help, but we may want to look at how that impacts our resources."
That keeps the conversation open and shows that you're thinking strategically, not emotionally.
Even a simple phrase like, "let's take a closer look at the potential risks," can make people pause and reconsider without feeling attacked.
So next time you find yourself in one of those moments, pause, breathe, and ask, what's a clear, respectful way I can express this point?
Because the real power isn't just in having a strong opinion, it's in delivering it with clarity and control.
Have you ever had to disagree with someone at work? How did you handle it? Drop it in the comments. Your story could help someone else feel more confident.
So, what did we learn?
First, strong leadership isn't about controlling the conversation. It's about listening, asking for input, and giving credit when it's due.
Second, how you express yourself in a meeting makes all the difference. The right words help you sound confident, clear, and persuasive.
Whether you're agreeing, challenging, or suggesting something, your tone, your timing, and your word choice shape how others respond to you.
It's not just about being fluent. It's about being thoughtful and strategic with your communication.
Use words that open doors, not ones that close them.
And remember, real confidence doesn't mean speaking louder. It means speaking with clarity and purpose.
What's one insight from this episode you'll take into your next meeting? Share it with us in the comments. Your experience might inspire someone else.
And speaking of inspiration, let's go over some of the most powerful expressions we've heard so far, and make sure you know how to use them in real conversations. Let's go over some key expressions from our last conversation, especially the ones that came up during the leadership and meeting dialogue.
Right. These phrases are often used in professional settings, and knowing how to use them can really improve the way you communicate at work.
First up, rejected. Definition: to refuse or say no to an idea, suggestion, or proposal. Example: the company rejected the budget plan because it didn't align with our goals.
Next, dismissed. Definition: to ignore or reject something without giving it full consideration. Example: my suggestion was dismissed before I had the chance to explain it.
Here's a helpful phrase: keep the conversation open. Definition: to allow space for discussion, even when there's disagreement. Example: I'm not sure this is the best option, but let's keep the conversation open and explore it further.
Another one is choose your words wisely. Definition: to think carefully about how you express something. Example: she knew the topic was sensitive, so she chose her words wisely during the presentation.
And finally, persuasive. Definition: able to convince others to accept your idea or point of view. Example: his tone was calm, but his message was persuasive enough to win over the team.
These phrases may seem simple, but they carry weight in business settings.
So use them in real conversations. Don't just memorize the definitions. Practice them in meetings, messages, and even voice notes.
Because the more naturally you use these words, the more confident and professional you'll sound.
Let's make all of this practical. How do you actually get better at using English in professional situations?
It starts with your speaking practice. One method that works really well is shadowing. You listen to a sentence, then repeat it right after, matching the rhythm, tone, and pronunciation.
You can do this with podcasts, interviews, or even your favorite business video. The goal isn't perfection. It's fluency that feels natural.
Another powerful tool? Recording yourself. Try speaking for 1 minute about a topic from work, then listen back. You'll catch areas to improve, and you'll hear how much progress you're making.
Now let's talk vocabulary. Build your own business phrase bank. When you learn a new expression, use it that same day. Say it, write it, own it.
You don't need a big system. A notebook, a voice memo, or a sticky note on your desk can do the trick. Consistency is more important than complexity.
And here's something that changes everything. Stop translating in your head. Start describing your day in English, out loud or silently. What am I doing? What do I need to say in this moment?
It's not just about knowing English. It's about thinking in English, so the words are there when you need them.
And finally, confidence. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is showing up, speaking clearly, and staying in the conversation.
So which tip will you try first? Tell us in the comments. And remember, the only way to speak better is to speak more.
You've learned how to speak up, how to lead conversations, and how to sound confident in any professional meeting.
And if you spoke even one sentence with more confidence after this episode, that's a win.
Business English isn't about being perfect. It's about being prepared and practicing until your message lands clearly.
So tell us, what's one business phrase or mindset shift you're taking from today's lesson? Drop it in the comments. Your answer might help someone else speak with more confidence too.
And if this episode helped you, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. It's the best way to stay connected with our next lessons.
We also created a free PDF to help you review everything we covered. Key phrases, real examples, and extra practice. Grab it in the description below.
And now, here's your next step.
If you want to stay consistent, focused, and energized while learning English, you need a daily routine that supports your progress.
That's exactly what we'll help you build in our next episode. How to build a healthy routine.
Click the video that's appearing on your screen, and let's keep growing together.
Thanks for joining us here on the Practice English podcast.
Keep practicing. Keep improving. We're proud of you, and we'll see you in the next lesson.